That is sacred, not for your hands.
Commander Honglan is a little Look, I'm sorry, it's true. This is the filtering point of Wuchang Fallen Feathers, and for a lot of people out there, this could be where your game comes to a very sudden stop. She's incredibly aggressive, doesn't give you many opportunities to hit her, and has some tricky attacks that are timed in such a way that if you dodge the first hit perfectly, you'll almost certainly get clipped by the second. But there are some holes in her game that we can take advantage of to make this fight much easier. Here's what you need to know. If you want to skip right to the fight, jump ahead using the timestamp in the description. Otherwise, let's go over some strategy. First off, my recommendation for this fight is to either use the longsword or the one-handed sword. We've got three main tools that we're going to use in this fight, or really just one if you're using the one-handed sword. First is the Echo of Lu Bing Zhang spell. If you're planning on using the one-handed sword, this is all you need, and if you can spare the skill points, also make sure to get the Alacrity and Fury of the Skyborn skills on the leftmost skill branch in the Impetus repository. Alacrity will give you Skyborn Might charges for using Echo of Lu Bing Zhang right before an enemy attack lands, and Fury of the Skyborn will make the spell cost one charge less, allowing you to use it more frequently. The idea here is to just keep your distance, dodge her attacks to gain Skyborn Might charges, and then use the spell whenever she's just slowly walking in between attacks. Or you can use it as a dodge to avoid one of her attacks. Make sure that you're increasing your feathering stat in the skill tree as much as you can, as that's the main reason why you'd want to use the one-handed sword, since it will make the spell hit much harder. If that's not enough and you need some extra tools, consider using the longsword instead. The longsword still has a bunch of feathering nodes in its skill tree, so you can still use the Echo of Lu Bing Zhang spell and have it deal decent damage. The main tool you'll want with the longsword though is the sword counter, which you will use whenever Honglan uses this dashing attack that she will almost always use when she's far away from you. Time the counter to block her attack, do one single counter attack, and then back away again. Your final tool is going to be your charged heavy attack, which should be enhanced thanks to the Wind Force skill on the longsword skill branch. Your opportunity to land this is going to be in the second phase. After Honglan does this specific combo, she'll do a single sword arc projectile, throw her kunai, and then this spinning attack, before leaping up into the air and crashing down. Dodge through her on the way down, quickly charge up a heavy attack, and let it rip to stun her, opening her up for an obliteration attack, and giving you either time to heal or put on some extra damage. Just don't get too greedy. Be patient and just repeat this strategy, and Honglan should be mostly a breeze. The only thing you have to worry about now is dodging her attacks, which are pretty straightforward to dodge as long as you're not in the middle of your own combo. If you don't sword counter her dashing stab, expect her to follow it up with either a quick swipe or a spinning kick. The timing to dodge these follow-ups is different and she seems to alternate between them randomly, which is why it's extra important to make sure that you're using the sword counter to not even give her this opportunity to mix you up. When she does an overhand or backhand sword swing, she will usually follow it up for a second hit. This is timed very specifically so that the second slash will almost always hit you if you dodge the first one. So just make sure that you're out of the way of the first slash and then be ready to dodge the second one right after. When she jumps backwards, she will follow it up with a kunai throw, which is relatively easy to see coming and dodge as long as you're keeping your distance. When she does two palm strikes, she will follow it up with either a dash to retreat, or she'll do the aforementioned two-hit sword combo. And then finally she has this stomp, which generally does not have any follow-up, so if you're feeling brave, you could try to punish it, but otherwise, stick to the plan. In phase 2, she will jump back and send two sword arc projectiles at you. As long as you're far enough away, these should be fairly simple to dodge, but if you're close, you could run into the same issue of dodging the first and then not having enough time to get out of the way of the second. If she does her spinning move as the first move of her combo, she will always follow it up with a single sword arc projectile. As mentioned before, the combo you're looking out for is sword arc, kunai, spin, jump, and slam. But be aware that sometimes she may follow up her sword arc attack with a dashing strike, so still be ready with the sword counter or just be ready to dodge. She will also occasionally use a horizontal sword arc projectile, which is a bit trickier to dodge, but she usually doesn't follow this up with anything. Make sure that you don't try to heal until you confirm that she's doing her slow walk after one of her attacks. Do not just heal after you dodge something, because she can close the distance with her dash and hit you before you finish the flask. And that is how you beat Commander Honglan. There's definitely room to be a little more wild and less defensive driven, but this is the safest way that we found to deal with this boss. Now I'll leave you with the full fight without commentary. Thanks for watching, and for more Wuchang Fallen Feathers, keep it here on IGN.
Such disgrace. Such disgrace. Such disgrace. Rend earth. Such disgrace. Let's see how much you got. Rend earth. That's how it is.